Hello and good morning. Today is October 20th, 2016. It is my day 161, which is somewhere between the 5th month and the 6th month of my hormones. I almost say my transition, but really it's my hormones. When does the transition start? You say I want to transition, or I want to get on hormones, and then you have to see a counselor for so many months, so many sessions. You have to get a letter. Then you have to go see an endocrinologist. Then you get the blood test, and so. I hadn't really thought about, when does the transition start? Obviously for me, I'm on estrogen, and I'm living more and more full time as I can, with the exception of the days that I go into work and whatnot. But I wanted to, I hadn't made a video in a couple of days, and just kind of some things going on. So this is kind of just a general bring everyone up to speed video. So let's see what's going on. I had a phone call. My sister had called me kind of out of the blue. My sister and I do not communicate regularly. We don't call each other. We're not best buds. Not to say we're unfriendly, just she lives half the country away and I live half the country away, and she's older than I am, and we're not, you know what I mean? But to get a phone call from her to say, we need to talk, is kind of makes your shields go up, like, oh, something's about to happen. What is it? And without giving away anything really private, I was expecting the you are not my brother, I don't know who you are, hope I never see you again. Kind of expecting that path, and that's not the way it took. I think my sister is very supportive of my transition, and probably is going to be supportive of, myself as a woman and whatnot. But, she has some reservations and some concerns, which I thanked her for. But, among them is, apparently on Facebook, some people, started to drill her down, ask her questions, and, it created somewhat of a uncomfortable situation for her. And, things like, hey, what's going on with your brother? And, is your brother a transvestite? And things like that. And, on the one hand, you can't, if I got into an accident and I lost my arm and people, whoa, what happened to your brother? Did he lose his arm? That's to be expected. But it bothered me that I was causing grief inadvertently for my sister, and that's not what I want. At the same time, it bothered me that, oh, yeah, my brother is transitioning, and she's very happy, and I'm happy to know her, and thank you for asking. And, kind of two different routes there. But anyway, so to help alleviate some of that, I went ahead and made a new email and a new Facebook page and kind of did another purge. Just some people can't understand it, or they can't hack it, or they don't like it, or they want to make a negative comment, or like a scab, they want to pick at it, and I'm not interested in that. You know what? Go, pick on somebody else. So my Facebook family has went through another downsizing. And my hope somewhat is that, if someone is interested in me as a person, and they're interested in my future, you're going to have to, call me Robin and say, I can only hope that in the months ahead, as we go forward, it's going to be easier and easier. And you will, if you are friends with me, or you know me and you address me, you will say Robin, or you will say, yes, Robin is a friend of mine. She's a very nice person. Or, my hope is that people around me will begin to use more indicative pronouns, for lack of a better word. So that was kind of a tough pill to swallow, but that was a bit emotional draining. Another topic that was raised was some concern over, my daughter, and specifically how my daughter looked, her appearance, and, a little bit of, you could say, fat shaming, or, you look at me, I'm obese. You look at my ex-wife, she's obese. You look at my daughter, she's got the genetics. She's not going to be thin as a rail, Now, as a parent, I can provide healthy, nutritious meals. Excuse me, I can encourage her to go walking with me like I did today. But, on the one hand, you expect someone to be concerned about you and to be concerned, and that's a sign of a loving thing. But on the other hand, what, it just makes you wonder, what world are you living in that, excuse me, a lot of phlegm in my throat today. My daughter doesn't want to wear dresses. Does that mean she's a lesbian? No. Her mother was a tomboy. And, that in itself is a dated concept. And so, again, you look at the world, there was a skit on Saturday Night Live a couple weeks ago about, trying to market dolls, like a Barbie doll, to a younger generation of children, to girls. And, the girls in the test group were playing with Legos, and they were building stuff, and yes, they did do dolls, and yes, they did do clothes, and yes, they played house, but they also did things that were stereotypically not what you would think little girls would be doing in the age that I grew up in, okay? And so, again, it's like, on the one hand, society's like, we want equal pay for women, we want, women this, women right, and then there's this other thing, it's like, oh, but, don't, science isn't for you, and math isn't for you, and, I mean, it's like, contradicting viewpoints. And again, I appreciate the concern, but it kind of did a number on me, because then internally I was like, well, maybe things are happening with my daughter because I'm transgender, and maybe I've done something wrong. And again, I don't think so, but kind of did a number on me. So, um, as recently as this morning, I talked to my daughter about, we're getting ready to go into, fall is here, but winter's ahead, and clothes that she might want for the winter. And, her grandma lovingly sent her some shirts that were, kitty cats and unicorns and pink, and my daughter doesn't want to wear them. I'm not going to force my daughter to wear them. Do I think my daughter's transgender? No. Do I think my daughter's gay? No. If she was, that's okay. But, you give someone a choice and you say, well, what would you like? And, they pick up, again, our old stereotypes. You put a row of things in front of a child, and, the boy who picks up the doll, to assume that they're gay or transgender, maybe they just wanted to play with the doll, Or the other way, the girl picks up a hammer. She wants to build something. She wants to do Lego. She wants to play Connect Four. She wants to play Monopoly. She wants to play Dungeons and Dragons. Whatever. Let the child be themselves and explore. And again, it kind of takes me back to my life. Now, granted, from a transgender point of view, I wanted to play dress up. I wanted to play with makeup and everything. You know what I mean? But again, I don't know. There's probably more to it than this. But again, it was kind of a rough conversation. And again, you want to thank the person for expressing their opinion and for being concerned, but you also have to kind of be a little concerned that maybe there's some control here. And back to the Facebook, if you're not interested in me, that's okay. But you can't control my behavior or my expression or whatnot. I'm going to run out of time if I'm not careful. Yesterday, went to court and had some stuff to do. And without going into too many details or why I was there, I wanted to get some legal stuff done before I went full time. And so I'm presenting myself yesterday in court as a male with my name, whatever. So when I went to the court yesterday, I pulled my hair back and I had a band on top and a thing in the back, and I wore my work shirt. I got as, male drag as I can. And I went up and I sat down where I needed to go. And the person in charge, looked at me and pulled up my record and said, Robin Parks, and then she said, Mrs. Parks, and she looked at me, and then she looked at my driver's license, which again has the male. And she corrected her. She says, oh, well, Mr. Parks, and so I thought that was kind of interesting. It's of course my own selfish hope that, I am looking more and more feminine, whatnot, but I thought I would share that. The other thing, which again, I think we all go through our voice stuff, but, I try to talk more down here more of the time, but it's more, I don't know, I don't know. That's for me to work out, I guess. But anyway, the other thing that's going on, my hormones got denied. So we're reappealing it, and hopefully some good news there. And that's all I got. I'm going to run out of time. So good luck. And today I'm Pioneer Woman. I got a flannel pin tuck blouse on and a nice skirt. So Bye. Good luck.